Okay, so hi everyone. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Adi. I'm here with Yaron and Anton from my team, and we're all from the product management team in Power BI. And today we want to tell you more about the new work that we're doing around enterprise information management and about helping you gain more out of your data assets as well as govern them better. So let's just get started. So how many of you attended Amira's and Arun's keynote yesterday? Everyone, almost everyone. Okay, great. So I assume you're familiar with this slide. That's the slide where Amir was presenting how our enterprise BI platform is evolving and the new tool set and capabilities that are being added to that platform to give you that holistic capability of both self-service tools on the one hand for the analysts, as well as enterprise capabilities for the admin, and also providing the creators all that range in the middle. So Amir was presenting that, and we're obviously doing huge leaps in Power BI around strengthening the platform. However, having that platform evolve in that way and adding all of these new capabilities introduces also some new needs and challenges about how to manage and govern the data assets in your org. So for one, we're giving all of these self-service tools now for creators, but that's actually also deriving the fact that hundreds and thousands of data assets, of reports, of data sets, of dashboards are being created within the org, and sort of the number of assets in the org is organically growing. Now, how do you discover what data assets exist in your org? How do you learn what you can reuse? How do you make the most out of what already exists? So that's one challenge with all the growth that we're seeing in Power BI. The other aspect is we're giving all these capabilities about creating more advanced analytical apps, about creating dependencies between workspaces, reusing data sets. How many of you heard yesterday about the advancements around shared data sets? Great, so that's a huge advancement, right? And I know a lot of you have been asking for that. But there's also the angle of, well, how do I now understand what this data set is serving in other workspaces? If I change something in this data set, what will be the impact? How do I understand from the other direction, if I look at a report or the dashboard, where did that data come from? It's not encapsulated in just one workspace anymore. And the analytical apps that are being built and that will now be built are becoming more and more advanced. And there's the need to have that bird's eye view of, well, what's that overall end-to-end data journey? The third is we're an enterprise BI platform. There are a lot of requirements around being a true enterprise-grade platform in terms of governing the assets, in terms of giving administrators more oversight around them, and doing all that while still empowering self-service, while still empowering the creators and the analysts, and not sort of doing it's an all or nothing story of let's just turn off this feature or that feature, which I know admins sometimes like to do. And the last one is around data protection. So we have a lot of capabilities today within Power BI around permissions for users, around row-level security, around managing the access of what can a user see or not see. But we want to take data protection to the next level. We want to take it to that area of when you also upload data into Power BI, when you download data out of Power BI, we want to keep that protected for you so that you know that we're also the gatekeepers in those areas and not just within the service from the permission perspective. So looking at all these needs, new needs that are deriving from becoming a more and more mature platform, we started looking into what are the capabilities around enterprise information management that we can now start providing to our customers. Because we really want to empower you to do more with your data, on that platform. So for one, we're giving new and we're working on more and more capabilities around data discovery and data reuse to help you with that aspect of that organic growth in Power BI and the multiple assets that are being created. And we'll click into each of those areas that I'm covering now later in the presentation. The other aspect, and we showed a glimpse of it yesterday in the keynote as well, is new data lineage capabilities and impact analysis, exactly so that you can manage more easily the advanced enterprise analytical apps that you're now building, and so that you can get that bird's eye view of the data journey, even if it's a cross-workspace journey. And also within the workspace, today the capabilities are more limited, so give you that perspective there. And third is areas of data governance and protection and investments that we're doing there to help you with that enterprise-grade oversight and governance, as well as with that data protection that I managed. So let's get started. With data reuse and discovery, I'm going to touch it briefly because I know that it was covered yesterday as well in multiple sessions around Power BI. But how many of you have heard yesterday about the shared data sets? We heard before. So certified data sets is a capability that comes hand in hand with it, right? It's that ability of giving both the admins the capability to certify data sets top down, saying this is a certified data set in my org that I want everyone to reuse now, as well as creators to promote their data sets and say, well, I have high confidence in this data set. I want it to be promoted above the others. So imagine that now, instead of having 5 different data sets that represent the sales data, you can have just one that is maybe initially promoted, maybe later the admin gains that confidence and even certifies that, and it's upgraded from promoted to certified. And other creators leverage that data set in their workspaces instead of bringing the data over and over again, and also creating different flavors of that sales data. It will enable your analysts now to find and use data sets they trust. So Christian Wade yesterday demoed it, Lukasz in his session as well. Now when you'll want to get data for a certain report, you'll be able to first see a glimpse of the certified and the promoted data sets and choose if you want to leverage them before just hooking to any other data set. Obviously, the tenant can control if they turn it on or off, at least initially, because it's a preview feature. And it will really help with that evolution of setting golden standard data sets within the org. Now, the news that we have today is that it will be coming soon for data flows as well. So for those of you who have started adopting data flows, and we're seeing an increasing number as well there, you'll have that option of certifying and promoting data flows as well. And that should be coming soon. You'll see a glimpse of that in the demo later. But with your permission, I'd like to move on to data lineage and impact analysis, because that's a big, that's something we're proud of, and we've heard a lot of pains from customers around that, and we want to cover that. So we've had discussions with many customers, interviews, enterprise voice. Thank God for the Power BI community and all the feedback that we can get there. And here are some of the pains that we've heard in that area. So for instance, one was around that impact analysis. Creators who are saying, well, if I change data in my data set, I have no idea today which reports will be impacted, who's using these reports, what are the dashboards that they are serving, who are the owners of those so that I can notify them. Today you're in the blind on all of that. So that's one family of pains that we've been hearing. The other is from actually the analyst perspective. He's looking at a report, he's looking at a dashboard. Sometimes there are several reports that represent similarly the same data. How can I gain more confidence in, is this the correct data that I'm looking at? What is the correct number? How many of you have been in meetings sometimes where 2 dashboards are being pulled out of similar KPIs, and then the highest ranking person in the room puts you in the spot and asks, well, which is the right one, right? How do you gain confidence in that kind of data? You need to know where the data came from. And the third is around troubleshooting. So a report might be broken, a dashboard might be broken, might not be refreshing, or it might be something in a root cause in the upstream data journey of that report or dashboard. How do you start troubleshooting it all and pinpointing where is the issue now that I should resolve? What hasn't been refreshing on the way, right? So those are just some of the pains that we've heard. And I'll move my mic on to Yaron so that he can demo some of the new capabilities that we're introducing here and are planning out soon, and also a bit of what's planned ahead after that.
Great, thank you, Adi. So, hi everyone. In the next few minutes, I'm going to demonstrate to you the data lineage capabilities that we're planning to bring to you in the next few months. And this is just the starting point. We know the importance of that, and we're planning to invest in that more and more. So let's see how it looks like in Power BI. So just a reminder, data lineage is the dictionary definition of that is to understand how the data moves from the data source to its destination. And now let's see how it looks like in Power BI. So we've added this menu button that you can switch between the list view, this is the list view, you're familiar with that, to a new look, to the lineage view. And here you get, just with one click, a view of how your workspace is structured and how the data moves from the data sources to the data sets, to the reports, and finally to the dashboard. So in this simple case, you can see that this dashboard is connected to 3 different reports, then to 3 different data sets, and to data sources that you can hover and get more information about that. For example, the SQL Server name and the database name, or the website that you are connected to. But you know, like Power BI is evolving, like Adi said, and there are many features that are coming to address your enterprise needs. And shared data sets and data flows comes also with some data management challenges. Like, for example, data can now move between workspaces. And not only that, but data can be collaborated between multiple users. So it's not only one user necessarily that owns the report end-to-end, but it might be like multiple users, maybe multiple departments that now create the data flows, create the data sets, and create the reports. So with that in mind, we give you this more complex lineage view. So what you can see here is not a lot of artifacts, but 2 dashboards, few reports, and data set, but it's becoming more complex now to understand the structure of the data, how the data moves, and what happens for the following scenario. Like, you have a problem in a dashboard, like someone in a meeting, your manager leave a comment, or someone just called you and ask you to understand the issue, the root cause of the problem in a dashboard, like why the data is not accurate or why it's not up to date. So what you can do now is to go to this view and to highlight a specific dashboard and see only its related lineage, right? So you can see that this dashboard specifically is connected to 4 different reports, and then to data sets and data sources. You can track back and understand the data source and how it moves. And let's dive a little bit for the data set. So what you can see here is that there is some metadata on top of the artifact, on top of the data set. You can see, for this example, you can see the last refresh time. You can see the endorsement status, the promoted or certification status. And if we move a little bit down here, so we can see this data set that seems to be a little different. So first we can see the yellow rectangle that shows me that there is some issue with this data set. Okay, we can also see that this is certified data set, so this is good. And there is the indication that this data set is not really originated from this workspace, but it was created in another workspace. So now, if I want to trace back and understand its data sources, I can do it with one more click in here. Okay, great. So we have this data set, and we can trace back and understand that it doesn't stop here. Like, this data set is connected to multiple hierarchies of data flows. So we have now, if we look on the full data lineage, we can see data sources connected to data flows, feeds other data flows, then to a data set, then it's connected to reports and dashboards in another workspace, maybe with multiple users. So we can trace it back and see this yellow rectangle. Maybe the root cause comes from the web telemetry data. And then we have the actions menu in here, just with parity for what you have in the list view. You can do everything also within this view, right? So you can mitigate maybe this issue by adding this data flow, fix the problem, and then maybe trigger a new refresh. Okay, great. So this was a very short demo. Let's do a recap.
So pausing for a minute, just here. So Yoron was able to troubleshoot something that he saw in one workspace, going into the shared data set, actually going into a second workspace where the shared data set originated from, and then understanding what's the issue there. Now, if you get back to that screen for just a minute, and move now to the list view. How many of you think it's easier to understand all that from the lineage view, right? So here it's very difficult to understand the relationships, starting to troubleshoot it all. And with the lineage view, it's very easy to sort of move between the cross-workspace dependencies or understand the data lineage within a certain workspace versus just the list of artifacts that we had until today. Okay? I think that's okay to get a show of hands for that, right?
Okay, so just a short recap of what you have seen, and one more thing that is coming soon. So this is the data lineage per se, understanding how data moves from the data sources to the artifacts, then downstream to the dashboard. We provide you metadata information that can help you with all the use cases that you can think of troubleshooting and gain confidence in your data, and documentation and training. So this metadata will appear on the nodes or in a side pane that comes with that, but you will get it all in this lineage view. Another thing is that we provide you all the actions available for you in the list view. So this is kind of parity with what you have in the list view. So you can think about this view also as a very good alternative to the existing view that you have now. And to end with the upstream datasets connected from other workspaces, like you saw in the demo. So there is a dataset in another workspace. I can already see it in the lineage view. But now, what about the other way around? So we didn't touch that in the demo, but it's coming soon. So there is the use case, the very common use case that we hear from customers about impact analysis that can be cross workspaces. So for example, if you want to change a data set, and before doing this change, you want to understand its impact, right? So you can go to a data set and click on the impact analysis button, and then you can get a full view of all of your Power BI artifacts and how this data set impacts all the artifacts all around, right? So you can see that there are two additional cards in here that says that this data set impacts not only the three reports in the workspace, but also other workspaces. And we can see here some more metadata, some more information that can help you to understand how big is the impact. We can see the number of dashboards and reports that are impacted, usage numbers, and some other metadata that can be useful for you. And if you want to deep dive into more details, we can click on the report to see more information. And of course, we need to think also about what actions should be available here to mitigate the impact.
So for instance, one of the examples is to let you notify the report owners of their workspace or the other workspace owners about the upcoming changes, right? I saw that clapping, right? Yeah? Okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so the need is clear. We are starting with artifact level impact analysis and lineage, but we are going to work our way through to table level as well, and we'll see after that. Yeah. Okay.
One more time. Okay, great. And everything that you have seen in this demo is already available for you in REST APIs with the little disclaimer of data flows APIs that are coming soon to connect dataset to data flows. But besides of that, everything is available with REST APIs. And for evidence, you can see the image on the right that shows you the Power BI Sentinel product, a great product that brings you change management capabilities and also data lineage. So you can see the cross workspaces data lineage capabilities in another product that build on top of the REST APIs.
So just to clarify, the Sentinel is not a Power BI product that we are somehow selling. It's an example for an external vendor who is leveraging those APIs for their plugin, right? So you can definitely do the same within your enterprises or externally.
On the impact analysis, you had a usage counter there. Is that information available to be accessed via a REST API as well?
So we need still to figure it out. This is still early stage for that to say, but we, generally speaking, we do think all the time about the REST APIs and what we can expose to customers. And the rule of thumb will be that everything that we want to build in the product, we want to expose also with the REST APIs, but I cannot guarantee for the usage. So
that would be huge, because right now you have to go into the 365
yeah.
audit log.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There is effort across Power BI to bring a new infra for usage metrics, and
yeah.
we're going to connect to that. And this is a good requirement, and we need to figure out when it comes.
So just as general feedback or even an ask, help us prioritize our work moving forward. There's user voice for that. There's enterprise voice in the community. We want to hear from you after we deliver these first increments, how to prioritize our work further. So be active in helping us helping you, okay? So just before moving on, so what's in it for you? You can now, from the analyst perspective, gain more confidence in the data, knowing now what's the data journey that contributed to that KPI. Increase troubleshooting efficiency and solving issues. Avoiding data duplication. So now when you see it all, you can understand more easily, is the same data actually being pulled into multiple data sets? Can I more effectively build my analytical app? Analyzing impact, as Yaron was showing, that is coming soon. Documentation. So that's actually a scenario that we heard from you, from customers. They were saying, well, we need to sometimes document our analytical apps, sometimes for audit purposes as well. What's better than taking a snapshot of the lineage view to sort of show that data journey? And that's even something that we didn't think of and was coming from customers. And ensuring data compliance once you have it all. Great. So moving on. So now that we know how to more effectively manage our apps with the lineage and impact analysis, we know how to discover the assets and reuse them. There's that aspect of protecting the data, as I mentioned. So let's see a bit about what are the challenges that we've heard in that area. So for instance, administrators that we've been talking to want to make sure that their data is protected, right? How do they prevent access today to unauthorized data? And we've heard about examples in orgs where the abilities of exporting data, for instance, of downloading, are just turned off completely in that organization because they haven't substantiated that trust yet, right? So how do we help orgs and admins get that trust and enable it for analysts? From the perspective of data owners, creating data, working with data, how can they make sure that that's protected? How can they make sure that that's protected but still work effectively without having their hands tied on various capabilities like downloading or sharing? From that admin perspective, how do I also know what's that oversight of confidential data in my org? How many reports are classified as highly confidential? What are the alerts or the actions that are restricted that happened in the past week? Sort of giving you that metrics, that protection metrics in that organizational level. And from that IT perspective, how do we make sure that all the requirements in the org are met? So Anton here will present, and he presented some yesterday, and good for you that you're here, so you'll get more information on that. But he could present a lot of the work that we're doing around data protection, as well as the integration that we're doing with Microsoft's leading products in that space.
Thank you, Adi. Good morning, everybody. So, just first of all, how many of you coming from organizations that actually use Office? Okay. No, it's good. Not everybody. And how many of the organizations that do use Office use what was called Azure Information Protection Sensitivity Labels and now called Microsoft Information Protection Labels? Less. Okay. Maybe with new capabilities that are coming, it will be more valuable now. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Microsoft Information Protection sensitivity labels, this is quite a popular product used by almost every top enterprise that's using Office today. And they use it in order to label the sensitivity of their data. And also with these labels, there are coming policies about who can access data and how they can access it. So in order to take Power BI to the next level, we are joining forces with Microsoft Information Protection and bring this label into Power BI in order to enable data owners to properly set the right sensitivity label on the reports. It's going to be on reports, on data sets, data flows, and dashboards. Feel free to ask questions at any time. And the biggest value here is that these are the same sensitivity labels that are also used in Office. So if your organization has a training for employees about, hey, how do I treat sensitive data? Who can I share with it? And how should I treat it? These are the same labels, so the same policies will apply on the data that they see and consume in Power BI. And even if you don't trigger any restriction policies, your employees already know and aware of how they should treat the data that they see in Power BI reports, dashboards, etc. The beauty of the solution looking end-to-end is because Microsoft Information Protection sensitivity labels are well integrated into Office. Now, when you're going to export data from Power BI, the sensitivity settings persist. So meaning like if you take data to Excel, to Word, and recently they also added the support for PDF, and PowerPoint, never forget PowerPoint. You'll get the same sensitivity labels on your documents, and you will be, and the policies will persist as well.
So how does that apply to non-365?
So non-365, you mean if you don't,
Export a file.
Yes.
On your desktop as regular Excel.
So it's going to be in regular Excel. So you as an organization, even if you don't use Microsoft Information Protection, the data will be in the file, and the admin can say, hey, do I enable my organization view the sensitivity labels in Office? If yes, your users will be able to see the sensitivity labels.
It's actually new information that is encrypted into the file upon download. And now, when you'll use Excel to open it,
It's tagged, and it has the policy as well.
Will the analyze with Excel option be covered with this?
Oh, this is a great question. So we are aiming to cover this. We are not 100% sure that it's going to be our first release. So this is something that is coming soon. But yeah, we are looking at this scenario as well. It's a great question because in analyzing Excel versus like standalone Excel file, you still need to connect with your own user to Power BI. So it's to some extent protected, but we are looking into this scenario as well. Sorry, I will repeat the question. So when you export the data from Power BI, you can also you have an option to analyze in Excel. Analyzing Excel does not download the file. It actually creates a connection that you can open from Excel. And we are looking at this scenario. It might not be offered, so we are aiming for public preview soon. And we are hoping to cover the scenarios there as well. Okay, so, and this is like it's a great example for the policy question. So with Microsoft Information Protection sensitivity labels, you can set a policy that restricts access to the label. The access is defined by some security group or specific users. So in case, when you exported the file from Power BI and it has certain label, if the user does not have permissions to this label, and this is like a common example, hey, can you please send me this file data from this Power BI report? Somebody downloads, someone who has permission downloads the file to Excel, then send it to the friend that does not have permissions to this data. Then the Excel will, when opening the file, it will check if the user has a permission, and if the user does not have this permission, the access will be blocked. And the user can also go to the owner of the Excel to ask permissions. Yes?
So does it check, I guess, AD groups, or how do you check? Do you have
It's Active Directory groups. It should be an Active Directory user. Yes?
Are there version limitations for which versions of Office are
It's supposed to be, it's working from 2010 and upwards. And there is a way to support it in older version, but it requires additional setup.
It's also worth mentioning that it will be easy to activate these capabilities within Power BI from the admin portal without requiring purchasing a dedicated license on MIP, assuming that you're an Office user. So you'll be able to get default labels and default restrictions associated with that to start from and start adopting that and protecting your data. And once MIP, Microsoft Information Protection, is adopted within the org for other Office services, then that will just seamlessly blend in.
Okay. So I will take 2 more questions and then we'll proceed. Yes?
Sorry if I missed this, but the high level of this feature, when is it rolling out? Is it premium only? Is it pro only? Do you have to use data flows?
Okay.
What kind of customer?
So the sensitivity levels, this is a great question. It's in order
Did
to...
everyone hear the question?
I will, okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
Repeat it.
So I will repeat the question. So for whom it is going to be available, do you need premium in order to use it, etc.? So the sensitivity labels are going to be available for all Power BI tenants. In order to set a label, you will need to have Pro license because it's like to edit an artifact, so you need the edit permissions. And in order to consume it in Office, the label will persist upon export, but in order to set labels in Office, you need a special license for from Microsoft Information Protection sensitivity labels.
So no need
Office.
for premium, that's first. The second is you'll be able to leverage artifacts that are assigned and encrypted and added with labels from Power BI. You'll be able to protect them once they exit the Power BI gates, okay? Setting labels on Office services or on Excel, for instance, without the Power BI realm already requires the MIP license.
Yeah. And one more question before we proceed. Yes.
What happens if you want to consume this Excel file with other software? Or like, for example, Power BI to export this Excel file that has permissions on it, or like use a Python to read that Excel file.
Can you repeat the question, please?
So when this Excel file is protected,
Yes.
what happens when you want to consume that with like Python or with Power BI when you're importing that Excel into another software?
So this is a great question. I will repeat the question. So now we have this encrypted, protected Excel. How do I consume it in other services? So For Power BI, at least for the first stage, we won't support consuming protected file. This is something that is on our roadmap. So to have like sort of like 360, you can export protected file, you can connect to protected file. I don't have a good answer about how do you consume with other products. So basically, there is Excel supports a way to decrypt the file, and we need to follow up with them in order to. So this capability is already available at GA for a long while. So it should be documented about how to consume a protected file. So basically, you need to authenticate. There is a way to do it. Okay. So let me just proceed to another slide and a quick demo. And this is actually what one of the things that I personally like best about this integration. You will be able to manage the labels in one place for Office and for Power BI. This is the Microsoft 365 portal where admins can define labels, set policies, tweak the permissions to the policies, etc. And this is really it. You will have one place to manage the sensitivity labels across Office, Power BI, and also Azure for those of you who use Azure Information Protection. Let's switch now to a quick demo. So most of you raised hands about attending the keynote yesterday. So this is same demo that we saw yesterday, but let's go over it now with more context. So here I'm in Power BI portal, and as report owner, I can decide what is the appropriate controls that I want to set for each report. The ones that called revenue 2019 Q2 revenue internal has some very sensitive data that if it's exposed to unauthorized users, it might have high business impact. So to reflect this in Power BI, I will go to report settings. Here in report setting, in data sensitivity, the labels that I see are the labels that were defined in Microsoft 365 portal. I can set the appropriate high confidential label, save it, and then it has a description. So everybody who is going to consume this file moving forward, probably the organization had the training for them. If not, they will have this tooltip explain them what this label stands for. And the sensitivity label, persistence upon export, is seamless. So basically, I'm now in the role of the consumer of the report. I'm here in the report. It is highly confidential. I can export the data because my organization allows me to do this. And when I export the data, to my APC, now I open the Excel. Microsoft Information Protection well integrated into Excel. The highly confidential label appears here with the same description. And also, you can see this icon on the lower left corner that states the permissions. This is restricted access to this file, and what permissions do I have for this file. Okay. The next piece that I want to cover is our collaboration with Microsoft Cloud App Security. How many people here heard about Microsoft Cloud App Security? We have a few. So Microsoft Cloud App Security is mostly known and familiar by the security admins in the organization. Its main value for organization, it provides shadow IT. Basically, this system scans all the SaaS activity in the organization and can provide with security admins with the visibility about who using what application. So in the modern world, all employees can now have Dropbox, Google Drive, applications that aren't managed by IT. So Microsoft App Security provides security admins with the visibility of all applications that use in the organization, and has really good real-time controls to enforce organization policies. And here I would like to show you a quick demo of how these real-time controls will work for Power BI coming soon. So for this demo, I will take a role of Adele, a business analyst that usually works from her office and using a managed device to connect to Power BI and do her day-to-day activities. Today, Adele, for some reason, does not have access to her managed device and uses her own home PC to connect to Power BI and work on it. And her home PC isn't managed by her IT. Let me just refresh it. Okay, so here we see this highly confidential report that we said before. And Adele has a native experience in Power BI. She can perform all the actions Power BI because from her organization allows her to work from an unmanaged device as long as she does it in Power BI because the data in Power BI is safe and secure. But now when Adele to do some additional analysis, decides to export the data to Excel, her organization policies kick in real time, and her download blocked. Why it's blocked? Because her organization defines that it's too risky to download highly confidential data to unmanaged device because it can be unsafe. People can install stuff that will cause leakage of this information. So in real time, with Microsoft Cloud App Security real-time controls, there was a risk assessment was made, and the block activity, and the activity was blocked because that is highly confidential. So very beautiful thing that I see here, we have an integration between Power BI, Microsoft Information Protection Sensitivity Labels, and Microsoft Cloud App Security, all of them joining forces. And once again, your organization can use the same solution to monitor both Power BI, Office, and other applications. Questions? Yes?
This is really useful. Does any admin get an alert that something like this happened when they use Cloud to do something?
Oh, this is a great question because the short question, the short answer is yes, and I will show it shortly. So the way we're going to tackle it is that, first of all, the admin in Microsoft Cloud App Security gets all these alerts and can view them. And we are going to add a Power BI dedicated role for MCAS. So Power BI admins will have this visibility both in Power BI admin portal and in MCAS for further investigation. Yes?
Yeah, a question about the My workspaces, like individual workspaces. Does this apply, so two-part question, does this apply to any downloads that an individual user shares a report in their My workspace? And then the second part is there anything on the roadmap that helps with the protection of uploading sensitive data to an individual?
So I will repeat the question. Will it apply on download from my workspace? Is that correct? And will we have enforcement about upload to my workspace? So for the first one, yes, this will apply on all activities that the user does. I'm not sure if at the first stage we will be able to specify different control for download from my workspace versus download from not my workspace, but this capability covers downloads from my workspace as well. About upload, this is on our roadmap. We actually hear a lot of concern from people about, hey, I want to have better visibility about what my user can upload. I don't want them to upload sensitive stuff to my workspace, them not regulatory, security, lots of, and we are looking into it. It's not going to be in the first phase, but we are actually looking inputs to help us clarify this story.
So we'll be adding more and more granularity to the admin as well about how to control and what policies to set and so forth. Maybe move on to the last piece, and then we'll have 10 minutes for questions.
Yes, and so for the last piece, I will skip the slide and move straight to the demo. So the admin perspective. Just a second. Okay. So we are adding to Power BI Admin Portal a new data protection tab, which will have oversight over sensitive data. So here we see this is like a very first initial version of the report. So it will have an overview over what sensitive data by label I have in my Power BI tenant. We will add support about who access, like you will be able to understand who access highly confidential data in which workspaces I have highly confidential data, or it can be also applied for regulatory reasons. So if you decide to have a label for GDPR, you will be able to see, hey, in which workspaces the GDPR data is persisted. And for instance, if you have a capacity that's running outside of Europe, and you will be able to identify if some user uploaded a GDPR labeled data to a workspace that isn't in Europe. So it gives you a lot of options to customize the way the data is uploaded and managed Power BI for your organization regulatory and compliance requirements. And so this is what will happen in Power BI. And the beauty of it is that so we will show also the alerts and the relevant notifications that come in from Microsoft Cloud App Security. And the Power BI admins will have special roles which will enable them to go into Microsoft Cloud App Security to perform additional analysis. So here we actually see that Adele's block action is actually already logged in Microsoft Cloud App Security portal. We can go here and see what Adele activities, what she did. We can see that Adele, before I came here, she tried to do the same thing in Israel. Now she did it in Atlanta. So it shows you her activities global-wise. A lot of really great capabilities to analyze the security incidents or the potential compliance problems. And another extra values that you get here, all activity logs for Power BI are available in Microsoft Cloud App Security portal, so you will have an access to them through it.
Is this data comes from the O365 audit log?
Yes.
Yes.
So do we need to have admin to that, access into that? Because right now it's a little separate, right?
Yeah, so this is a great question, and I'll repeat it. So how do I access this data? Do I need to, is it 365? Yes, so these are the 365 activity logs. What we will do in order to, you would not need global administrator permissions. We are adding a new role for MCAS for Power BI admin. So the global administrator will be able to provide you the privileges for the Power BI view, and then you can get all the Power BI data, only Power BI data.
And just to clarify around the oversight dashboard that you saw, or report that you saw in the admin. For instance, if your organization started using the Microsoft Information Protection labels, and as I mentioned earlier, you're going to have a default set, even without acquiring that other license, and you haven't yet integrated into Microsoft Cloud App Security, you will still have that report to see all the protected data and classified artifacts in your org, just without those alerts that we're feeding in from MCAS. So you'll still get that oversight, and once you integrate into that entire suite, you'll just get that more added value.
So, let's just summarize what in it for you. So the first thing is this consistent labeling and policies across the organization. You define it once, it's applicable for Office, it's applicable for Azure, and it's applicable for Power BI. Second thing is the oversight over sensitive data and access. This is one of the things that I don't remember an admin that I talked with that did not tell me that this is a big pain about, hey, I want an easier way to know about sensitive data that is available in Power BI. With the sensitivity labels, the data becomes visible. You see what is the sensitivity data and where it's stored and who uses it. It's self-service. Data owners have a simple, intuitive tool. If they use it in Office, they already know how to use it in order to apply labels. It's really straightforward. It does not hurt their productivity. It enables you to meet the privacy and regulatory requirements that requires a greater level of auditing about which sensitive data, specific data types are being consumed and where. So it should enable you additional options to upload additional data to Power BI, which might not be as straightforward today. And we're joining forces with Microsoft world-leading cybersecurity products. Both Microsoft Information Protection and the Microsoft Cloud App Security consider world leaders in their domain. And from you using Power BI, you'll get these capabilities. Really, MIP, you get straightforward. Microsoft Cloud App Security, you still need to buy it, but it will work, protect well Power BI as together with other applications in your organization.
And just to stop for a minute on the data owners can protect their data. This is not just an admin feature, okay? Many customers that we've heard of have capabilities turned off in their organizations to download, to share, because the admin doesn't have that trust yet of how they protect the data, how they get the oversight. We're going to enable those admins such that all of the creators and analysts can work more effectively, share more effectively, have more of those capabilities turned on for them now. So this is a ripple effect of making the work for all of you more effective over time. Okay?
Yeah, so we have 5
5
more
minutes
for questions.
What do you guys think? Is it good? Okay, great.
Yeah. So
You were waiting from earlier, so just for a minute, yeah.
So the ability to download a secure file is really exciting, but I was curious if there's anything that prevents a user from simply copying it out of that protected file and pasting it into a new one that is not.
Oh, so this is an amazing question. So I will repeat the question. So we have secured the file, but what prevents from user just to copy the data to another file that isn't protected? I think it's great to set expectations. So these capabilities would not make your organization like bulletproof from hackers or people who want to steal the data outside of the organization. Because they always can, like if we block copy, they have their cell phones and they just take the picture. I'm not saying that it's not important. I'm just saying this capability is about reducing the risk and making sure that if you by mistake or not only sharing data with someone who's not supposed to view it, this protection will come in place. It's not like protect from hackers 100%.
It's more of protecting misinformed actions, helping data owners protect their own data. So it's not from the malicious angle as much as from the just giving you that blanket of protection as good citizens.
Nahima? Yeah.
So when you say people who shouldn't have access, is that just people who are not in the workspace who don't have permissions with Power BI? So what if I do want to share with some other people who don't have access to the Power BI, but otherwise should be able to access that data? Can I provide access to myself?
Okay, so this is a great question. So when we apply protection in Power BI, how do I share it with people outside of Power BI? More or less? Okay. So if you apply a sensitivity label, in the definition of sensitivity label, and you want to restrict access to documents or Power BI reports with this sensitivity label, you specify who are the users that can view data with this sensitivity label. So once you export it, and it's across workspaces. So the sensitivity label isn't usually per workspace. It can be, but it's not by definition. Only users that have permissions to this label can use a file.
It all depends actually on what's defined in the policy. So the policy can say that certain security groups can access that, right? Because that's what the admin said. If an admin said that a certain label means that these groups can access it, that's what it will mean. MCAS, for instance, gives another set of protection around accessing, not from the user perspective, but perhaps accessing data from a risky IP or a risky location. So it's not just the user protection, it all depends on what the policy defines. By the way, questions around lineage, around discovery, everything goes, right? Yeah.
So if I look at back at the very first slide, it's kind of what the issues were that you're trying to tackle. I feel like you really focused in on securing reports, allowing data sets to be seen and more accessible. But I still feel like it's missing, hey, I've got 700 reports in production, and they all have different security on, so right now I have to build 700 apps. Is there anything coming around allowing an app to be a higher level container, which is kind of how I see it, with securing items and maybe subfolders so I can group items under an app, or maybe not have to have hundreds and hundreds of apps?
So we are looking into, for some of the aspects that we've added capabilities more from the admin perspective. For some, we've added more from the creator perspective. One of the things that we will be looking into is to have how to give more governance and control, as well as more oversight to the admin on that organizational level, okay? And that might be around setting in bulk or classifying artifacts. It might be around the containers. So we will be looking into those. And it's also about giving the admin the oversight in that level. So right now, what we showed you in lineage, for instance, it still originates from a certain workspace, right? You start somewhere. But if you want to gain more oversight from the higher level of, cross-workspace dependencies, cross-workspace usage, and all that, it's something we will be looking into later on in the roadmap. Yeah.
So I have a question about how deep lineage goes.
Yeah.
What the vision is for how deep lineage is going to go. I look at it from the enterprise. We're using SSAS right now. So the model, the Power BI model, has lineage in between the measures and the column definitions. There's lineage involved in your M queries. There's lineage involved in your ETL pipelines and your data flows or Azure Data Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Is the vision to actually unify all that stuff? And I mean, is that where you're really shooting for?
Do you want to take it or?
Yeah, so actually, there is a lot to cover in data lineage. There is higher granularity. I believe that we will start with the things that are more trivial, like table level lineage, understand how the tables are calculated one on top of the others. Column level lineage also is something that we have in the backlog. Moving on to measures, and that will be something more advanced, I guess. So it will take time, but basically the vision in there is to provide what the customer wants. And if there is a need for that, so yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing measure level lineage just by doing the TM schema queries and
Right.
those dependencies.
So we need to see where we stop, but vision-wise, yes, we need to cover also like columns. Getting into M will be challenging.
Yeah, but by the way, for within a model, certain lineage and the journey there, so Power Query has certain capabilities around that you can dive into. So we are coming more from that workspace level that was totally blank right now. We might meet one day. We're out of time. All of these capabilities are coming soon. Hopefully they'll be very helpful to you. And be vocal on all the channels that I mentioned earlier so that we can help move in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you.